What is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider John coming at you with a new video. And yes, I've been on hiatus. I have been gone. I've been doing short, little, quick clips. A little 2 cents here and there, but not really been putting myself into this. And I apologize for those of you that are, into what I do and like what I do. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. However, I do have a life outside of football. I do have a life outside the Raiders, and let's just leave it at that. In the words of Tom Brady, a lot of bullshit that happens, man. Yeah, yeah, and it was a fumble. The Raiders have actually cut down their roster to 53 men. It was honestly one of those times where no matter what, there was going to be a player that you like, that you honestly were going for and rooting for, and you wanted to see succeed, not make the roster. And there was going to be some surprise cuts. And boy, were there some fucking surprise cuts. I tell you, man, it kind of threw Raider Nation for a loop on some of these decisions that were made, but I honestly think that everybody in Raider Nation can understand why the decisions were made. Um, at the end of the day, it's not our say on it, and this freaking regime, I got trust in it because to be honest with you, you can kind of see where they're getting their blueprint from. So first thing that you notice when you look at this roster, Raiders have a shitload of depth at running back. I mean, a lot. Six running backs we decided to keep on this roster, and two, I guess you could say one is a wide receiver and the other is a fullback, but they still hold the responsibilities of a running back. They will be brought in for short yardage situations. They will be brought in if there is a blitz to pick it up. They will be brought in for a catch out the backfield. All right. So there are certain things that every running back has to be able to do, and certain things that, some are better at than others. Uh, I think our running back room is insane. We got a solid running back room. And one thing that this actually brings to light is the reason we released Kenyan Drake. Um, the fact that we were willing to actually, cut a guy that was going to get paid that much and actually did have talent and had the ability to carry the rock and, do all these things was because point blank, he got beat out. We seen the talent we had on our roster and we said to ourselves, I think we're good without him. And I think that's what happened. At the end of the day, you look at his, showings in preseason, and other running backs were just outplaying him. They were just outplaying him. You could contribute that to the fact that he really didn't get that many touches, as much as other players that they wanted to see. But the other players that they did see made so much of a freaking impression that we decided, we could do without Kenyan Drake. So that decision to actually get rid of him makes a lot more sense now. Another player that we actually decided to get rid of was, Trayvon Mullen. Trayvon Mullen's a solid player, guys. I have nothing negative to say. I wasn't a big fan of how clingy he was, but I cannot deny he was a solid player. He started for us for a reason. He was a solid player. Cannot take away from his talent. He had some good showings, made some good plays. However, his biggest liability was his availability. And that freaking toe of his was pissing Raider fans off. Also, I'm not really a big fan of the fact that he waited till the last minute to get that freaking surgery done. Made no sense, and honestly, I think that really rubbed the fucking coaching staff the wrong way. So I mean, it is what it is. I wish him luck, but I mean, bye, Felicia. Raiders also released Keeneland Cole, which was a shocker to a lot of Raider fans because he was the one player not named Waller, Hunter Renfro, or freaking Devontae Adams that was, had a little bit of credibility to his name, and we just cut him. That speaks volumes to the freaking players that we brought onto this squad. Dude, I think a lot of these players, they stepped up in ways that a lot of people didn't see coming. Look, at the end of the day, guys, the coaching staff knows what they want and why they want it, but we can only assume that it had something to do with the fact that Killing Cole is a good player, solid player, probably even better than some of the players we kept on our roster. But they had certain things that he wasn't as good at as other players on a roster. Like, for instance, maybe one of them's a little bit better when it comes to blocking on the edge or something. Maybe one of them has a lot of speed. Uh, yeah, if that ain't obvious. Maybe one of them, is just maybe a crisper route runner or something, and they just picked up on this that he's probably better and measurables. He's better with production, but there are certain things he doesn't do as good as certain players that could do just that one thing really well. So you know, and there's certain things you just can't teach. Speed being one of them. Keeneland Cole is a productive player. He's got to find another home. I'm not too worried about him when it comes to that. I wish him the best, but it was a shocker for a lot of Raider fans, and I don't blame him. I mean, that kind of threw me for a loop too. Now, the one of the biggest freaking moves we decided to actually go with was keeping Luke Masterson and Darion Butler on the roster, two undrafted free agents. Matt, honestly, guys, I'm 100% behind this because these guys balled the fuck out. They were putting in work during the preseason. I mean, it was very nice to see what these guys were able to do to first teamers out there. You've seen them making sacks, you've seen them making plays, you've seen them making an impact in the game, and so like it was honestly, I think that's what put the nail in the coffin to keep them on this roster. And they were two of four undrafted free agents. To put this into perspective, guys, we're not known for that. We have not had an undrafted free agent rookie on this roster since 2019. That's a rarity. So this team is actually making decisions in a different route than the past regime and even the past regime before that. So we're making decisions based on what we see. We're making very solid and calculated decisions on who we want on this roster, and I'm seeing like a lot of productivity out of the people that we're actually deciding to go with. So I'm very excited about it, and I'm happy about it. And Luke Masterson, I even said it like in one of my videos. Oh, they're balling. They're balling. Like they are showing why they should be on this roster, and I'm happy that we kept them. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Leatherwood cut. Guys, I know a lot of you ain't fans of this decision, but I do not blame Ziegler or McDaniels for cutting this man. He was not going to get any better, guys. He was regressing. He was regressing very abruptly. Like it wasn't even like, little by little. No, it got really bad, guys. It got really bad. And I hate it when people do comparisons to him and, Colton Miller. Look, I get why you guys are saying that. I'm not going to lie. I was one of the ones that used to say that, but let me explain to you something. For one, Colton Miller was a left tackle. This guy's playing right tackle or guard. And, when you've seen that Colton Miller was doing better, even towards the end of the season that he played, which he was injured, the following year, you could see that during even the preseason, during the training camp, everything that you heard about was him progressing, not regressing, progressing. And with Leatherwood was nowhere near that. All right, Leatherwood was regressing, and it was blatantly obvious, man. I feel bad for the guy. All right, I do. I feel bad for the guy because even I was trashing him. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of the ones trashing him. Hey, yo, I call it how I see it, guys. If I think you were playing like shit, I'm gonna say you're playing like shit. I'm a fan of this team, all right? I don't bite my fucking tongue when it comes to shit that I see, right? So, at the end of the day, he was playing like crap. He was playing like trash, guys. If you still think we should have kept him on this roster, can you explain to me why we were willing to take a $7.9 million cap hit just to get him off of this roster? Thank God the Bears picked his ass up because that was a big cap hit, guys. But we were willing to take that shit just to get him the fuck off this roster. There is obviously a reason why. Why? And if you really don't even got to get mad at the coaches about this because he was not making it easy on him, man. He was not making it. Like, look, guys, they gave him every opportunity to actually succeed. All right, they put him out against the ones, they put him out against the twos, then they put him out against the threes. He lost, And yo, and anybody bringing up the fact that, oh well, he played good at guard. Why did they put him at guard? Put him at the position he plays good in, and maybe he could raise his stock or something. Maybe somebody might actually ask for a trade. Here's the problem with that, guys. If you take away snaps and take away reps from people that are going to play at guard, and even the backups that going to play at guard, to someone that is probably not going to be on the roster, you're taking opportunity from the players that need the rep, need the freaking snap, and need the work. All right, you're taking away actual opportunities from people that are going to be on this roster. Maybe you play them a couple of snaps in the last game at guard or something, but even then, it's like at this point, you're taking away opportunities from people that need it. All right, um, especially for someone that is you were trying to develop at that right tackle position. The whole reason we even drafted him was for that right tackle position. Even if we were going about like, okay, we're going to see if we could develop him. We're going to see if we could get him better. We're going to see if we could get his feet under him. There's a certain level of, progression you have to make. And he was not making it. It was just not there. And, when you have a position already filled and you have the backups position already filled, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, we can't put him there. We can't put him in that position anymore. There are so many signs that we did not want him on this roster. We are in shambles on certain areas on this freaking offensive line, all right? That's the biggest question mark, all right? This shit got the Riddler scratching his fucking head, thinking like, hey, what do you think, Batman? Like, it is bad, guys. And I honestly think that if we are in that, that much of a danger zone, why did we get rid of him? Well, what you should be asking is, we're in that big of a danger zone and we got rid of him. How bad did this guy have to fucking play for that? How bad did he have to do, like, in reps in practice and reps in the game and reps and shit that's blatantly fucking, easy layup for the standard freaking player that does that position? How bad did it have to be for us to actually say, you know what, we're better off without him? You know what, we're better off taking a $7.9 million cap hit. You know what, let's get rid of him. And that is sad. All right. I feel really bad for the kid, but the Bears picked him up. Thank God. That cat problem actually, is now off our shoulders. It's okay. Your problem now, Bears. But I wish him luck. I do. I don't wish any harm upon him. I don't wish any harm upon his career. I hope that he actually succeeds and gets it together. But plain and simple, this guy was playing like complete shit in preseason against backups, and it was bad. It was just horrible, man. It was just, uh, it was like watching someone scratch a wall of freaking chalk with bare nails and just cringing every single time you seen him get beat, and it was often. I mean, let's face it, guys. It is what it is. One thing that this coaching staff and this new regime has shown and proven, it doesn't matter what the fuck it says on your paycheck. It doesn't matter how good you done in the past. It doesn't matter if you were drafted in the first round, second round, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I don't give a fuck. If you do not produce, if you do not show a a ounce of progression in getting better, if you don't show any bit of improvement, you're off this fucking squad. All right. So I respect the decisions made by this regime. I respect the stance they have made. And they're not Leatherwood ain't the first one. Look, like I said earlier, Kenyan Drake. We took a hit with him with the cap. We didn't care. We don't care. It's like you got to be productive. So I'm happy with the stance that my Raiders have taken. When it comes to this, it's setting a foundation for a moral obligation for this team. You need to have a commitment to excellence. You need to do your best, and if you can't do it and it ain't cutting it, I'm sorry. We're not a fucking charity. You're cut. So I respect it. I respect it. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. That's the last of it, man. There's a few more things that went on, but I'm gonna let the other vloggers handle that. They've done an amazing fucking job, man. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am a fan of the vlogging community. I am a fan of the podcast community when it comes to the Raiders. I am a fan in general when it comes to Raider Nation, man. So I have nothing but love for everybody. Keep doing what you're doing, all y'all, man, all y'all. So much love, and that's gonna do it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be putting out more videos during the season. You know how it is. I'm back, baby. Let's do this. Go Raiders.